Hey, welcome to my channel Loc'D, and today we're gonna talk about what? New releases of October. I'm excited. There is a long list today. Please bear with me as we get through them. There's probably over 10 books. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know. The thumbnail told you. I don't even know. But we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna try to be as succinct as possible. So let's go ahead and start with our first anticipated book of October 2023. Bloodlines by Nelson DeMille and Alex DeMille. I won't say much about this book because I personally think that the synopsis is a spoiler. This is book 2. I have not read book 1, but book 2 is following after they left Venezuela. So Agent Scott Brody and then Agent Taylor, or just Taylor, left Venezuela after what happened in book 1. And now they are in Berlin, they're in Germany, and Special Agent Harry Vance has been murdered. So they're trying to figure out what happened to him and if it is tied to book 1. There's a threat of neo-Nazi terrorism. There is just so many things that is threatening them trying to figure out what happened to Agent Harry. And to be honest, not all the time do I want to read like a like a police type of legal thriller kind of thing, but I like reading them sometimes. So when I saw this, I was like, maybe I should read this, because I do have book 1 in my Libby. So I was like, maybe I'll read book 1 and then see what's going on with book 2, and that's how I came upon this book. Next book is What We Kept to Ourselves by Nancy Kim, and this is a story about how at first this family, the mom went missing. She vanished, no one heard from her, and then one of the children got pregnant. I think her name is Sunny, and then secrets and family secrets started to be revealed, specifically secrets involving parent and children, and things kind of fall apart, or people start to get more clarity on what is happening. So to me, this is a good book for me to read in the crime fiction genre, because I am realizing I'm liking more and more crime fictions that have to do with like a family unit, specifically to the book like Miracle Creek, which I think really focus on that family and what's happening with that family and how the crimes or how the thrilling or suspenseful aspects took place. The next book is an author that I really want to get into, and this is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, I believe. They wrote In My Dreams I Hold a Knife and The Last Housewife. This one intrigued me because it has a Gothic feel and it's a Southern thriller. As a Southern woman, I'm about it. And it's in a small town in Louisiana. So we got Gothic, we got Southern feel, and we got a small town in Louisiana. You're already pulling to my heartstrings. In this town called Bottom Springs, there are 2 outcasts. There's a preacher's daughter and somebody who's on the wrong side of the tracks. Now, most people in this town is really not afraid of anybody but God and the devil. But there's like this kind of myth that's happening about this person called the Low Man. I had to recheck and make sure, yep, it's the Low Man. And the Low Man is just this creepy type of story about this vampire person who is here to cause chaos. And then one day they find a skull that's just chilling in a swamp area, and everything goes what? Downhill. Yeah, So the 2 outcasts goes on this journey to try to figure out the town's secret, and I'm assuming that they're also trying to figure out who is the person that belongs to this skull, or who is the person of this skull. Y'all get what I'm saying. The next book is Edenville. What really drew me into this one is similar to the book that I talked before, but Edenville is a creepy town, and it follows a story of this writer who's not getting a lot of motivation on writing and the thought of it. So he gets invited to this writing retreat in Edenville. And while he's there, or before he even go, I should say, his girlfriend Quinn is like, I don't know if you want to go there. She grew up in an area near there, heard some things about Edenville, and was like, this ain't it. But he's like, look, he's like, hey, I'm trying to get my motivation to write back, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to this writing retreat. He goes to this writing retreat, and then things unravel in the sense of there are so many horror aspects of things that's happening in this town. So that is really what's pulling me to want to read this book, because I love it when the whole town is haunted. Like that, you can't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? The next book is called The Forest Demand is Due. And what I find the most intriguing about this book is that there is a lack of memory. So it follows the story of this town, and in this town there is this school, and this school is a very elite school, and people go there to become leaders. However, people don't know about the actual like nefarious past of what happened in this town. So one day the student, he's there, he's learning, he's just trying to, you know, go through the motions, get done, get out of there, and a student dies. But the next day he's thinking, okay, everyone knows that the student died. Nope, it's like everyone forgot that the student existed. No one even knows what the student is, the student's name. Nothing about the student is coming to the forefront of their brain. So it's the loss of memory and why that is happening, because it's making me think, was there some kind of deal that was made so that people who graduate from this school become successful? Because that's pretty much what happens at this school. Teenagers go there, they graduate, and they become prominent leaders. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of deal that was supposed to be made or something like that. So I love a haunted house story, and that is what we're getting with the next book. It's called A Hunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. So this follows, again, another writer who is like, hey, I need my big break. I want to do what I have to do to get my big break. So the main character finds this mansion, and they rent out this mansion with their fiance, and the purpose is to get writers and actors to come there to be creative. However, they are being stalked by creatures in the house. They're hearing strange sounds. Maybe some folks is going missing. There's just a lot of things happening surrounding this house. So I'm wondering how it's going to play out. For those of you who are fans of, what is it, Hunting on Hill House, I think you would truly enjoy this book. I was a fan of the TV series on Netflix. Didn't get a chance to read the book because I was like, if the book is just as creepy as a TV show, I'm done. You know what I mean? But I think I'm gonna like this book. The next book is a book that I actually was told about this book from Beautifully Bookish Bethany, but then as I was researching of like books that are coming out, because I forgot when the book was coming out, it's coming out in October, and it's called Starling House. So what I'm excited about this is that, again, it has to do with a house, and that it follows the story of this young character named Opal who's trying to do everything to protect their younger brother, and that everyone is telling them like, hey, you should avoid this house, but they're visiting this house in their dreams, and then their dreams become a like real life manifestation or something of what is going on, and then the owner of the house, Arthur, also have some manifestations from his dream coming to fruition because of this house. And I'm wondering what the house is doing to manifest these different type of realizations that was in their dream that became a reality. And I'm also wondering if the house is a character, because again, I know I've said this several times, if the house is a character, I'm going to read it. If the house is just stagnant and got nothing going on, it's just a vessel where creepy people come to do creepy things, I'm like, okay, that's cool. But if the house itself is doing some creepy stuff, that's where I like to reside. And I also like that it has this Gothic feel to it as well. The next book I won't talk much about. It is an anthology on Black horror. There's actually quite a few of them that I'm excited to read, and this one is called All These Sunken Souls. It has so many authors that I've read, and I'm excited to see the short stories that they came up with in this collection. And I did pre-order this one, so I'm excited to see it, and I hope to unbox it or show you that I have it in October, and I hope that I get it in October because I pre-ordered this a very long time ago. Another anthology is called A Winter Solace, and it has been edited by Ellen Dotlow. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce her name. And she is revered in the horror world. I personally have still not read anything by her, shame on me. But they have so many dope authors in this anthology. This collection of story has Tananarive and Stephen Graham Jones. And to me, that's it. That's it. That's it. The only thing would make it better if it had Cachet Warren. Okay? Cachet. We waiting for you, sis. Again, with another anthology. It's out there. This is edited by Jordan Peele. Again, Tananarive is in this one, and I'm excited to read it. And I don't think that I've ever noticed, probably in the last 8 years, where so many Black anthologies have come out. The next book is called Let Me Out by Emmett Nally and George Williams, and this is a graphic novel, and this is about a pastor. His wife died or is murdered, and then this FBI agent and then this other like sheriff get together to try to figure out what happened. However, I feel like, just based off I've read, that they're not really trying to drum up what happened per se. They are trying to hide their devious deeds. So I'm excited how this is going to play out, and this is a graphic novel, so it's also going to give you that visual image as well. And also, because they're trying to hide their devious deeds, they're also using 4 people as a scapegoat to hide their devious deeds. So I'm excited to see how that's going to be played out, and I also really want to own the graphic novel, so I think I may pre-order that. The next book is Let the Woods Keep Our Bodies by E.M. Roy. I think this book will have more of like a psychological element to it. It follows the story of this girl named Leo, and she is in this town in Maine. And one day her girlfriend or her fiance is murdered, and the police officers think that she is the one who did it. However, while she's trying to deal with the grief and being blamed for the murder of her girlfriend, her sense of reality becomes a thing that is not intact. So she goes through these different things to try to figure out what is reality versus what is real. And I'm excited to see how that is done, because as a therapist, I'm always like, I wonder why that choice was made, especially when people are trying to write psychological thrillers or psychological horrors. So I'm excited to see just how this plays out. This is My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMagan, or Jennifer M. I know that's right. This follows the story of this girl, or this young woman, who really, she hates Christmas. She the Grinch, just like me. And while she is not liking Christmas, there's a lot of things that is happening in this holiday spirit that is kind of forcing her to do something that she wouldn't normally do. So she has a harmonious relationship with her mother, and her mother got diagnosed with cancer. So she is like, okay, let me have my mom move in, even though I'm a little reluctant. Let me have her move in so that we can heal and be closer before she is no longer living. However, when her mom moves in, a string of strange things starts to happen that made her question, is her mom really who she thinks she is? The next one is called The Sanctuary by Gustavo, and this is set in Argentina, and this is about a filmmaker who goes on this drive or this car trip with his wife and the lead actress of this film, and their car breaks down. They're thinking, oh, this is a minor inconvenience, it won't be that bad, we can fix this thing that's happening to this car, we'll get it together and it'll be fine. However, there's like a string of things that keeps happening. When the filmmaker and the lead actress and his wife goes to find rest or sleep, they wake up and realize that the lead actress is missing. So he's trying his best to find the lead actress, but in his way of doing it, he's also having this overwhelming sense of dread of like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Or am I gonna find her? Kind of thing. So we don't know what's happening. She could have just been taken from someone, or she set this up all on her own. I don't know. I'm just over here just saying what I think. Who knows? It could be wrong. The next book is kind of weird, and it also involves like a younger character. So it is called The Night Housekeeper. It follows the story of this character named Evie. So Evie has just come back from this adventure and come back into this town, and she realized that all the ghosts are missing. And these ghosts are loved by everyone in this town. So then she get invited to like this mystery council meeting, and she realized that the ghosts are actually really gone. So she enlists in the help of this 11-year-old to try to figure out what happened to these ghosts. It just sounds really cute, and I'm down for it. The next book is called The Paleontologist, and the reason why I like it is because of the name. And it is about this paleontologist who is working for this museum. It's about the story of this guy named Dr. Simon Neely, and he is a paleontologist working for this museum. He never thought he would return here because many years ago his sister was abducted from this museum. So even though he's there is a lot of things that he did not expect will happen, and there's just a lot of creepy things that is happening. Different things are being revealed to him that he didn't even know about, that has to do with the abduction of his sister. And now we're just trying to figure out that if he can actually solve what happened to his sister. The next book is A Reformatory by Tananarive Due. We all know that I love Tananarive Due. And this story has to do with a lot of ghosts and haunts, and this little boy, this 12-year-old boy who is trying to figure out what is happening in his town. It is set in 1950. In the Jim Crow South. Robbie has a gift of seeing these haunts and ghosts, and a lot of people are going missing. But the haunts that he sees and he interacts with is saying that it is actually worse than he can ever imagine. So I'm excited to see how that story plays out. Tananarive Due has a beautiful gift of telling a story, and I'm just really here for the story. I don't care if the crime gets solved or not. I'm just here for the story. The Alchemist of Monsters and Mayhem by Gigi Pendian, and this is a series. This is book 7. And I read book 1 and been meaning to get back into this series. So I put this book here just so I can get back into this series, because book 1 was really cool about the gargoyles and this woman moving into like this like abandoned house and how she was able to solve some crimes. And it's very cute and it's very exploratory as well in regards to like trying to figure out all these moving pieces and everything that is happening in this town. So since this is the 7th installment, I do want to go ahead and try to read book 2 and 3 and maybe one day get to the 7th installment. But I'm excited for this series. So there you have it, folks. That are all the books that I am anticipating in November. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget, we'll talk soon, and I'll see you later. Bye.